Yeah, and so now it's like I'm on this high level European team, and I did well. No, I take that back. My first team, I didn't do so well. I signed with Rouen in France, who had just had a really, really good season prior to. I want to say they might have lost in the semis or lost in the finals, and then had, I want to say, maybe top three out of maybe the top six players in the league, um, with a really, really good young French point guard who, it was supposed to be the next Tony Parker. He had that kind of a reputation coming in. So while
Hmm.
on paper it made sense, like that was a great signing for me, from an individual standpoint. The minute I showed up, it was just all kind of, it was just a bunch of stuff that politically I just didn't have a chance. And,
Hmm.
me and the coach didn't see eye to eye,
Hmm.
on stuff that really wasn't even basketball. My wife was pregnant. She had my son August the 12th. They wanted me to come like August the 8th and then fly back when she had her, when she had the baby. And I was like, well, what sense does that make? I'm gonna come there for 4 days and do what? I'm 6 foot, 170 pounds. I'll never be out of shape. I'm not that guy. And so it just kind of started off, kind of rocky. And 3 weeks later, I was back home.
Hmm.
And so, just kind of going through the options I had. The G League, obviously, the NBDL back then was definitely a different league, than it is now. And, I signed a contract for the draft. And as the draft was, I guess, getting ready to just jump off, I got another call to come and play and split. Which, if you guys know anything about, the history behind European basketball, they've got some history,
Hmm.
with
Right.
a bunch of European guys, Tony Kukoc and just a bunch of high level names that played for the program. And actually, um, who was it? The GM, the general manager was not Vladi. Obviously, it was. I want to say Sabonis was the general manager. Just
Oh,
a
interesting.
big time name was the general manager, and I get there and it's like, yeah, you're pretty much playing for free.
Wow.
One American out, two American out, three American out. I'm like the last man standing, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to be here if I'm gonna be playing for free. I got family to take care of, and walked into the office, and it was like, hey, listen, you don't got to pay me, but give me my release so I can get out of here. And at that point, man, things got a little shaky, and I was a little worried because you just don't, you don't know it until you go through it. And the one thing
Yeah, I guess it would. I mean, if somebody's saying, "Hey, you're playing for free," you're like, "Okay, well now what am
yeah,
I going to
they
do?"
were back. They were back behind payments on the Americans in front of me, so it was like I'm in the back of the
Oof.
line. I'm definitely not getting my money.
2018, 2019. Was this a tough season for you? You signed in August. By November, you had a 6-week contract with Wurzburg in the Bundesliga. Eventually led them to the extending to the end of the season. So, walk us through that. Tell us what that was like.
Um, that was my time. My season started off in Lithuania. That was probably my toughest experience I've had because I'm gonna give y'all the details on how some teams can treat you very well, and then some teams, the situation is not great.
Yeah,
So
let's hear it. We've heard both sides from everybody so far. So,
yep, yeah. So I get to Lithuania. I'm playing Champions League, which is good international, and I'm playing in the Lithuania League, and I'm playing well. But the team's not playing bad, but we're underachieving. We got a first year coach who's a big time player in Lithuania, and now he's coaching for the first time. But so they're already kind of on his back and wanted him to succeed right away. I liked him. I thought he was doing a good job. I thought we dropped some games we shouldn't have, but we also won some games we shouldn't have. So we were right where we were supposed to be. I think we was like in fourth place, and they ended up bringing in this guy, and I'm gonna give you as I'm learning what's happening. I'm giving you the real time. They're bringing this guy to make him sports director because he had money, and he brought in money with him. I'm like, okay, cool. We got basically a second GM essentially comes in. So now my point guard, who now he lives in Finland, but he's from New York, Jamar Wilson, veteran, real good player, best player on our team, comes in and he's like, yo, do you know who that is? I'm like, no, who's that? like who's that? Of course I don't know. It's my first time here. He's like, yo, this guy here a couple of years ago got banned from the whole league, and he hasn't had a job since because he was making racist statements.
Oh,
He had Corey Fisher. I don't know if you guys know Corey Fisher from Villanova.
yeah.
Uh, he had Corey Fisher and he had a few guys on this team. He's like, you can't get too many black players on the same team because they act like gang members and all type of wild statements. And a lot of stuff like that. He ended up getting banned from the league, and he hasn't had a job in maybe 7 years. And of course, who's the team to bring him back? My team. So
Oh boy.
once he gives me that information, I'm like, all right, cool. Let's see how this goes. So you get there within the first 3 days. We're at the airport flying back to Lithuania from a road game. My coach gets we're getting news alerts on our phones that our coach is fired. He's right next to us. Fires our coach. Fires one of my, not the point guards I was talking about, fires one of my other foreign point guards, tells our captain, yes, our captain who's Lithuanian, tells him, we don't have minutes for you. So you can either, but we're not gonna cut you and pay you out the contract. You can either leave and go to a different team, we'll let you free, or you can just sit on the bench for the rest of the year. So he leaves. So I'm like, my goodness. And then, he starts bringing in his own guys from his own agency and stuff like that. So I'm like, I decide I'm just gonna kill and make it hard for him to fire me, even though he's still going to do it. So that's what I did. I had good games for the next 2 weeks, was really killing, and he still got rid of me. And my point guard that I said was the best player on the team plays with the national team in Finland. So when it's time to go to the national team games for about 2 weeks, there's a break, and you go play with your national team. He told him, if you go, your role on this team won't be the same. Now, keep in mind, this is our best player. He's not like, wait, we can't win without him. He's the point guard, 1, but 2, he's getting the assists, he's getting the points, he's controlling the pace. There's no way they're gonna not play you, bro. He's like, well, I'm not gonna listen to a threat anyway. Of course, I'm gonna play with my national team. He's basically finished now. He's finished kids, finished wife, lives in Helsinki. Like, he's like, I'm gonna go play the national team. He's a captain of the national team. So he goes and he comes back, and I kid you not, he's playing the man 5 minutes. Playing him 5 minutes. Now, at this point, I'm gone. And maybe a month later, he tries to fire him. He fires him. The next time he went to the national team, he fires him. And then the team gets fed up with them firing their best player, and they finally get rid of him and then re-sign him, and he comes back. I was like,
oh, man.
Days. I was like, that's the craziest story I've ever heard. So that was my experience in Finland. I'm not Finland, but Lithuania. It was a lot going on in Lithuania.
Oh wow!
But I didn't love it there because it wasn't much to do. But I will say Lithuania. That's nothing against you guys. I met a lot of cool people out there. So it's not the people. People were great.
So I guess to answer the question, was it a tough season? It sounds like the answer was yes.
Yeah, but pretty soon we're going to be doing this deep fake stuff. So are any of us really going to be real anymore? Like post-history kind of stuff? I read an article about that the other day about the fears of post-history because of deep fakes and using people's faces and creating AI people, that are just saying.
I 100% agree, and I'm sure I got deep faked in Gran Canaria with those tweets. I'm sure that was somehow a deep fake. I don't remember doing any of that. And that's when I knew it was real. The plane landed, and I'm like, "What is the hype about? Who did somebody die?" And they're like, "Your career, it's dead." Like,
R.I.P. Loved but not forgotten.
It's either my son's mother or a deep fake. It's one of the two, or both.
You became one of those stories about people that fired off a tweet, went in the air for 2 hours, and landed. And realized, oh no, this was ill-advised, perhaps.
Yeah, man. That was and I was one of the more. And I see the guys now, and some teammates know and some don't. And I just don't even talk about it unless it's brought up. But I'm just like, you guys have to know this because it was everywhere. It was everywhere. So
for sure.
But as long as Luka Doncic knows me as the guy who sent those tweets out the night after his game, well, yeah, that was me.
Be sure to tell him that when you get to Maverick summer camp.
Gotcha.
I was gonna say maybe with social media expertise we could somehow tag him and see if it comes across his.
Man, I feel like he remembers for sure. They had me on his NBA draft previews, one of the guys he was scoring on. And it's not like all the points were on me, but it was just the mindset that I was in, how frustrated I was. Every point might as well have been on me. That was
God, you always hate that, don't you? When you're on somebody else's highlight reel. Well, actually, we mentioned Harden earlier, Tony Skinn. He got the better of James Harden in the Olympics because he was on the Nigerian national team.
Gotcha.
And of course, like, Nigeria got blown out. They lost by like 40 or something.
And Tony Skinn is the first one when you asked him about that, he's the first one to be like, you guys saw the score when that happened, right?
Yeah.
But everybody, we asked him, we're like, do players ask you about that? And he's like, you can't hide on the internet once that's out there. And they all know, and they all ask him about it. What was it like to break James Harden's ankles and stuff like that? He's like, man.
Yeah, I seen that report today. I was watching Undisputed, and it was like, Jason Terry says even this late in his career, this late in his life, people are asking him about the LeBron James dunk. I'm like, yeah, that one's attached to you forever, only because of his greatness. So,
So I've got two things about that. Number one, I understand why everybody says it's like, oh, you got somebody, it's a competition and everything like that. But the other way of looking at it, if you're somebody that gets posterized or whatever, for the most part, unless you're just standing there, you tried. Like that's still there's still something there. Number one.
Yeah.
So why are we shitting on that person for trying? Number one. And number two, here you go. I'll give you an idea going forward. If you see the Luka Doncic highlight tape, just be like, no, that's a deep fake. That wasn't me.
There you go. Another deep fake. You just keep getting caught by these deep fakes, man.
I'm not even a real person. That's what you guys do. There's a hologram right here. My life is amazing. All of these stories it's being deep faked.
See, the thing is, when I went to Latvia, they didn't pay me. So I got paid February. So I was there supposed to be on clock February, March, April, May, June. So it's 5 months. And I was supposed to get a lump sum of money. They didn't pay. So my mindset, and then once that happened, then the lockout comes. The NBA lockout hits that summer. So I'm like, I was just in the gym, like as much as I can. So my thing was, it didn't work out with the D League, and I'm over Europe. So, but like I said, I'm 23. Like, I'm going off emotion. Like, I didn't know, like, I can roll the dice again and another team would pay me. No. I had experienced that, and I was just like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to Japan. I went to Japan, and I did everything that I was playing well, and the coach just was really, really racist. Calling me all types of names and monkeys and all types of stuff. Like, he didn't even speak English.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's sad that I had to. It's the first time I'm publicly speaking on that, but it's sad that I had to deal with that, and I stood up for myself, and he didn't like that I stood up for myself, and next thing I know, they sent me home. I had played in like 7 exhibition games. I mean, I was like 23-5, like I was playing well, and then they paid me, and then they was just like, all right, here you go.
Man, you had a lot of bad luck at the beginning of your professional career.
Oh man, enough to make a person want to fold or quit or do something else. And then I get invited to Bakersfield Jam. Will Voigt was a coach, and I ended up tearing my groin in training camp. So now I'm just home. It's January again. I didn't probably went through another batch of agents, and now I'm just stuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is next? So I just worked on my game the entire second half of the season, and my next opportunity, it was Canada, and I was a man on a mission.